So what we're going to do today is we're going through the Spark amp. David got his, I think it was beginning of last week. So you've had about a week, or
Yep.
maybe, you had about a
I've
week.
had it a week, 1 week.
Okay, cool. Well, we had a week to fool with it, and we're going to just talk about how you do things when you get something new. Is it just plugging in and start playing from that point on to throwing the directions out and then scrambling to find them when you can't make it do what you wanted to do, and then just checking out some tones and some of the different things that we can do. We've spent a good about an hour before we went live today, trying to figure some of the things out. We've got the Bluetooth connected correctly. There's something interesting that's not in the manual that for all of you who have one on the way, you will probably be interested in. So I'm going to go ahead and bring David up here, and I just want you to talk about opening it up and plugging in and playing, and how long did it take before you could get some good sounds out of it?
Immediately, when you first open it up, there's 4 presets that are already in it. I'll show you what it looks like, and the sounds are great. They the presets that are in there without any internet action or any kind of using the Spark amp app sound fantastic.
Could you go through just some of those initial sounds first?
Yeah.
And so we can just hear a few of them.
This would be the clean. This is just the preset clean.
Okay, great. So it sounds like a Fender type amp.
Yep. And the second one that you get is called Crunch. So this is Crunch.
So you're getting kind of a Marshall orange type. Try that on your bridge pickup too. Let's hear how that one sounds on the bridge pickup. Okay, great. So you already got your Fender and your Marshall right there, the first two.
The third one you get is called High Gain. And the last and the best. Metal.
Okay, and your metal preset. So you got your clean. So you got clean, and then you got a crunch,
a high gain, and
and metal.
So when you go through the different settings that are in the app, there's tons of other settings. You have about 4 per each thing. You got pop, blues, rock, metal, alternative, bass, and acoustic.
Are those all on that dial on the left as well?
No, I mean they are up there, but you only have one. But if you just run through the app, you have much more.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull the manual up here, and what we have. Let's take a look at the top of it. So we have on the left here. Make sure you guys are seeing what I'm seeing. Yep. So on the left, we have the acoustic, bass, clean, glassy, crunch, high gain, and metal. So those are the sounds we were going through there. You've got gain, as we go from left to right: gain, bass, mid, treble, master. So you can set how much distortion on each one of those different ones, and then a good EQ, bass, mid, and treble. The master, how loud it's going to be. Then you've got your mod section. You've got your reverb, delay, and chorus, and I guess your main output and input. And on the top are your presets, and then your something we're going to be talking about in a minute, and that's your Bluetooth volume as well. Let's see.
So what you get is these are all the no, that's not it. What comes in the actual the free stuff that comes with with the app. So you have there's just tons and tons of stuff.
Okay, so it has a place where you can go and get tones from other people that have put tones up there, and I'm sure some from Bias, from Positive Grid itself. Can you upload tones too?
Yes. This here is a cloud. This is everything. This is 10,000 different tones. You got Fender. These are the most popular ones that come up first. So Fender and the classic Marshall are number one. But you go to every single. It's just an endless supply of tones.
Very cool.
Unbelievable. I'll play the Fender and the Marshall, and you can tell me if they sound like Fender and Marshall, because I don't have any idea.
Okay. So hit the Fender one with the neck pickup.
Great.
Joe says, he said, brother, I should have been there to help you showcase your new product. Like being the camera guy. How far away is Joe? He could
5 hours.
5 hours? Well, that's not going to work then. Yeah, so that's clean with a little bit of breakup. That's a good Fender.
All right, here's a classic Marshall.
Did you play some single note stuff on that one too?
Yep.
Very cool. Wes is here. Hey, Wes. Wes made it, man. Good to see you. And let's see here. Coke asks, he says, is this like a modeling amp or what's the technology here? So yes. It's modeling. It's a modeling amp, which is also what we're about to get into, which is also a Bluetooth speaker, which is also a practice station. This amp is a little bit different in the fact that you can also use it as a practicing tool. You can also have it be an audio interface to your computer, and we're going to be checking all that out in just a second. Wes said just got the Spark as well. Really enjoying it so far. So yeah, we're going to have all the Spark owners in the community. We're going to do one of these where we get as many of us as we can on one show and see about all the different tips that we have to get this thing rolling. So let's talk about connecting the app. What did you have to do to connect your tablet to the Spark amp?
All you have to do is download the Spark Amp app, turn your amp on, and you start the app. It'll automatically find it and connect it. That's
so you didn't have
do.
So the amp automatically has Bluetooth sending out. You didn't have to do anything special.
Nothing.
Okay.
Other than what we worked on.
Well, that's coming next. That's coming. So it connects by Bluetooth. So you have Bluetooth, and you also have USB attachments. The Bluetooth with the with your phone or with your tablets or stuff like that is pretty easy to use, except for one thing. We haven't done. David, have you connected it to your computer yet at all?
No,
Okay.
just the iPad.
Yeah. So as far as Coke asked, so if I'm ever thinking of getting a DAW, just get a Spark. What I'm looking for is an XLR input. That's what I would for like a vocal microphone. That's what I'm interested in. So I only see on the manual a guitar input. So what that's going to mean is now it has what's K? K is the Bluetooth speak status thing. So that's not a mic in.
Well, they have a Bluetooth status, also Bluetooth. Okay, L. They have an auxiliary in, a USB port. So if you have a mic, they'll have a USB port mic.
Yeah, the USB port would connect it to the computer. So I think this would only be for guitar. So you could have it as an audio interface, but just for guitar, not for a vocal mic or anything like that. But Coke asked what the cost was, and Wes said, if I remember right, it was like $229, something like that.
It's $229 if you buy it right now.
Right.
The final price is going to be $299.
Yeah. So not as far as guitar equipment goes, that's not a bad deal right there, especially with what we're about to show in a minute. So what the next feature that we're going to talk about, and let's scroll down with the manual here. Let me see if I could get this bigger for you. Yeah. So the next part of the manual, here's when we using the Spark amp as a wireless speaker. Now, this is what we didn't see before. This was not in the instructions that David had. Okay. And so you can turn on the Bluetooth function on your device and then select Spark 40 audio.
Yeah.
Okay. So what David had going before he had his instruction manual that came with him was just a little pamphlet. And so I don't think this was in there, but what it does is it allows you to listen to things from your phone or from your tablet through the speakers on the Spark amp, mixed with your guitar. We couldn't figure that out. So what ends up happening is there's two Bluetooth settings that you have to make. There's the one to connect the app, and then there's one for audio as well. So that was something that in his pamphlet he didn't get, but I'm seeing here, we just found it in the user manual from the web page. So it's actually, it says it will automatically pair with your devices as well. So David shouldn't have to be able to keep doing this all the time. So I'm going to hand it over to David. He's going to tell you all about the Jamalong Smart Play.
You can play to any song you want. I'm going to turn the volume down so we don't hear it, because it's copyrighted materials. So you just pick your song.
Okay, so you probably can't hear it now.
I have it turned down. It's still loading.
Okay. So you could load a song from YouTube or Spotify or a bunch of different places.
YouTube. Yeah.
Okay.
You'll see.
And it's playing the song.
So it plays the chord progressions. It shows you the chord progressions on the top. And if it's too fast, you hit this button here, and everything slows down, and you could listen to it at half the speed. So while you're working on your chords.
Very nice. And is this something that you could pick any YouTube video, or are there certain ones that they let you use?
Any YouTube video.
That's awesome. That is
You
very cool.
could search. There's a list a mile long. You could pick by genre. You can pick, anything on YouTube will play through the Spark amp.
Awesome.
Anything.
So you could get your chords pretty easy there. That's pretty cool. And what was happening before with us was that we were getting the guitar signal from just the Spark amp, and then the songs were playing on the iPad, which has a very tiny speaker, so it didn't sound that great. So, and he had been struggling finding that, and we figured it out. 2 different Bluetooth connections. So, okay. So now you pick your tones. You can pick your songs. Is there another thing where you can play along and it figures the chords out for you and puts a background track on?
Well, not so much that. You can pick the how tempo and everything on it, but you start. And it creates your little backing track for you to play along to your chords that you put in there.
Oh, that's awesome. That's a cool practice feature.
I don't know if you could hear it.
We can hear it a little bit. Yep.
Yep.
That's cool, man. That's a cool. While we were doing that, Coke says, so anything I already connect to my Bluetooth speakers, I can do the same for this.
Say that again.
So he said, so anything I already connect to my Bluetooth speakers, I could do the same for this. So you could connect your phone or, MP3s, that kind of stuff, Pandora. So the Alexa is going to be a Bluetooth receiver itself. So this is kind of like your Alexa. It'll receive your phone and it'll receive your the things that you send to it. But Pandora, as long as
Spotify, YouTube, anything in your iTunes music playlist will play through the amp. Anything just in your phone will play through the amp.
Let's see. Wes said, I found the same with Spotify. If it's a song that Spark doesn't already have the chords for, it'll listen and then it'll show them. It's not always 100% correct, but it gets you close. That's good. That's awesome. And so Coke says that's a Chordfly. Brendan says that's very cool. Thank you, Brendan, for hanging out with us today. And Wes says the number of background tracks that I have loaded by different genres are impressive.
Now, the only other feature you could go in there and work through any tone you want, and you could upload it to the cloud.
Awesome. So let's look at the app a little bit. Let's kind of look at the different amps that you have available in the app and the different pedals and all of those different things. That's kind of what I'm interested in. I'm interested in how much it does compared to the plugins that they have, how many amps and everything.
And there's a Well, I'm gonna look in the cloud and see if they show how they set those up. No, they're not downloaded. No, you could put every time you push on one, you could adjust it any way you want.
Okay, so go back to the drive pedal. The pedal before the amp.
That one, the comp.
Yeah. Yeah. So how many actually the tube screamer, the green one. Drive. Yeah, the drive pedal. Okay, so that's going to be your tube screamer. How many different drive pedals do they allow? Do you just swipe back and forth to go through the different ones?
I mean,
no, the actual the tube drive down at the bottom.
This one?
Yeah. I'm just wondering how that you could change that tube drive, because I know they have a lot of different modeled pedals
Well, I mean, I don't see anything. The volumes in the race.
Okay. I'll look that up. At another time. I'm just curious about the selection. How many different pedals that you could take a look at? How many different amps you can take a look at?
Right. And there's probably a bajillion, but they're all, every time you click on a new one, you're going to get different stuff, I would think.
Okay. Wes says double tap it up top. So go back to that pedal where you see the amp and the pedals and all that stuff.
You remember which one that was?
I don't remember. It had the amplifier, and then you had like all the selections of the different pedals, drive and mod and all that stuff. There we go. So double tap that drive pedal up top. So the double tap it real quick.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything.
Okay. There we go. Okay, so you got a booster, overdrive, fuzz. What's that black ops? Is that what it said? Okay, so you got a nice range of drive pedals there, like 4 or 5 drive pedals there. So pretty cool. Oh no, we got a whole bunch more. Oh yeah. So we got, was that 9 different pedals? Pretty nice, man. Very cool. Very cool. Awesome. So you can go through all the different delays, all the different things by double tapping them and pulling them in there too. See, I was wondering how, if you're able to upload your own pedals, how you could go through, your own tones, how you could go through all the different combinations. So it's all through the app. That is pretty cool. Very neat, man. Very neat. I bet you got, David, I bet you have a lot of fun stuff to be doing the next couple of weeks.
I'm sure someone who knew what they were doing with pedals and stuff would have a much better time.
Well, this is a great way to learn about them. Learn about what you like and what you don't. You were talking about before how you were liking going through. Here, let me go back to us here. You were liking how you were going through the library and finding the different tones, and then you told me that you could. What you liked about it is you could see what it is that you liked, the reasons why you liked it.
Exactly. Because going in and adjusting these pedals, the only ways I adjust my Metal Zone pedal is by going online and finding other people's setups. I didn't know. Yeah,
well, that's a great way. If you keep hearing a sound that you like, if you keep seeing that they have a certain amp that they're using or a certain pedal, then that's important knowledge. You're going to know that's what you want. That's something that you would want to put into your own sounds, though.
No doubt.
Let's see here. Here's Brennan. Brennan says, "Can you stack pedals in the effects chain like you have more than one drive pedal?" I don't
That I
know.
don't know.
Yeah, it looked like there was just one for each.
Well,
It
let me
says, I
look.
think so.
Well, there was one, but maybe from the list you could throw some up there. Let's see, drive pedals. You could change them. Let's see if we could add more.
Kevin asked, if you build your own tone, you have to download it to the Spark, or is it live from the app to your amp? I think it's live from the app to your amp, right?
It is live from the app to the. If you wanted to upload it, you'd have to just upload it to the cloud.
I think you could.
If you did your own tone and you wanted to, you could save it to the amp. There's 4 presets on the top. You could change the 4 that are up there to anything you want.
So you could save it in the app, but you could also save it into one of the 4 spots on the amplifier.
Yeah, that way you wouldn't need. You wouldn't even need to be connected to the internet. You could just use the amp with your presets that you put in there.
Right. That's awesome. So for $229,
yep,
this is a good deal, man. This is really cool. As we're going through this, I'm liking it more and more. I'm going to go back to the manual here just for a second. And the audio interface too. So it's got a USB cable. And let's see here. By default, the guitar signal is recorded after the amp and the effects modeling. So what that means is if you were to use the Spark amp as your audio interface, when you would record into a recording program in DAW, it would record the affected sound. It would record the way it sounds through your amp.
Right.
But
that's nice.
If you wanted to do it a regular, the way that a lot of people do, where you just have your dry signal in and you can affect it later, you can also record a dry guitar signal using the Spark amp to bypass all amp and effects modules. So you can do it both ways. USB playback is controlled with that music volume knob that's on top. That's the same one that we use for the Bluetooth. So it can be your speakers from your amplifier. Input monitoring is enabled on your DAW. You can monitor your guitar signal in your recording DAW software, and also through the amp itself by the output knob. Very cool. And uses ASIO drivers, so that makes it nice and easy. There's a factory reset. And here's the user guide. That's connected to your smartphone, getting your Positive Grid account together, using the effects, and if changes in real time. Signal chain, swipe left or right to scroll on the signal chain, swipe up and down to switch effects on and off, double tap to select. We did that. You can control the whole effects section on and off. And overwrite, save as new, share to Tone Cloud. So you can save it as a new preset in the app. You can share it to Tone Cloud. You can also save it to the hardware on your amp, which are the things we talked about. And here's talking about Smart Jam, which we went over. And then it has voice. Okay, so let's talk about voice command. It has a microphone button right on the app, and you speak into your smartphone with the following voice commands. Alternatively, you can tap the on-screen quick command. So you can just say really quick, play drums, and it'll play some drums. So you can say play a backing track or play a metronome. That's pretty nice. And
play drums.
That's did it work?
I think so. Well, it brought up the drum guy.
Yeah.
But it didn't start.
Let's see. It only works if you're speaking English or Japanese.
Oh.
No. Okay. So let's see here.
Metrodome.
We talked about auto chords, and then a whole last page for contacting them. Okay, so we've been through the whole user manual. Not a great big user manual. But pretty neat, man. Pretty neat.
Looked up Metrodome. What the heck?
Yeah. So you got a little voice command going in there. Do a little Alexa action. I was thinking about ending each show with Alexa, whatever song I felt like everyone just to play. Pen, pineapple, apple pen. There you go. PPAP. Drive everybody crazy. Okay, well, thanks, David. We're just gonna do some hanging out here, man. We're just hanging out for a while. That was an awesome first look at the Spark amp. We appreciate you spending your afternoon hanging out with us and sharing your new toys.
Not a problem. I'm sure that when somebody else gets it who could understand it a little better, they'll probably get some more good reviews. But it basically shows you how it works.
Yeah, you helped us.
I think it's great for beginners because of all the play-alongs and the chord chart and all that, and being able to slow it down.
Yeah, I think it's a very, very cool. So we got Joe had a bunch of smiley faces. Brendan says, thanks, David, for sharing. Wes says, thanks, David. So we really appreciate you spending the time with us, man.